Happy Friday, everybody. Feliz sexta-feira in Portuguese. Hope everyone had a good week. My Friday has not been great, so it brings me to topic one. I'm not a big Star Wars or Star Trek fan. I mean, I enjoy the stuff, but I'm not super into it. But I recalled today the "Let the hate flow through you" line, right? And I think it's a good line because it's actually kind of what we should do, right? If we're upset, angry, whatever, something's bothering us, actually let it flow through, let it go away. Don't hold it in. So it's an interesting line, the idea that the bad guys let the hate flow through, and you say like contain the hate. Anyhow, I'm going to get off on a tangent, some philosophical tangent. But yeah, today I am at home, obviously. I had a work from home day. I had a lot of stuff to do, which I got done. But there were some other things that were coming up that didn't happen or were supposed to happen. Nonsense. And the reason why I'm working from home is because I was supposed to have a plumber come by, and he's yet to come by. So yeah, just annoyed at a bunch of things. So I'm not angry, I'm just annoyed, but kind of thought it was funny because I did use kind of that frustration to kind of ramp things up. So I hit the 150 for 5, that was just 240 for 5, and then 330, and everything was flying. I was moving pretty quick today. Did 330 by 5 by 3, then 330 by 6 because I miscounted. And then for the last one, I just said, hey, let's have some fun. I did 330 by 12 with about a 9. I didn't run it out to a complete max. I just said I was tired enough. And then, oh, by the way, the next note, right, I did 225 by 10 by 3. And I was going to say, oh, maybe I'll do a couple more sets. Pulled the first rep of like what would have been set 4. I said, nah, don't want to do it. Again, I'm an adult. I get to do what I want. So that's kind of how today's session went. Haven't done accessories yet, which is per the usual because I just want to sit down and get my thoughts out. And by the time I go through accessories, they're kind of mindless at this point. But yeah, I want to get through, the gym is a great place to kind of get rid of some frustration and anger and all that stuff. Perfect place for it. Burn down those bad feels. Get rid of them. And today I was happy. I used that to fuel a result. And then it made me kind of think about one gym kind of thing. One of the great things about the gym, and the reason why I think it works so well for someone like me, is because it's like one big controlled experiment, right? I can go in and I can be fueled up better than normal or less than normal and blah, blah, blah. All these things, all these various things that change, right? What we call variables in our lives. And they might affect lifting. And that's going to change your day-to-day ability to go into the gym. And the gym allows us to observe things almost directly. Today, I felt really, really strong. Part of it was because I was just kind of ticked off. But it was also I'd eaten pretty well today before I lifted. I had a nice, no, it wasn't alcoholic, but I had a beverage of like protein powder and some other stuff. That had some carbs in it that helped get me into the session. But it's the gym is a lab. It's a place where you can go in, load up the bar, titrate weights, volumes, times, all those kinds of things. You have all these variables that you can tune to see what your performance is like that day. And that allows you to kind of see how things are going at various time scales, at the micro, up to the macro, right? Everywhere in between, like how things have been going, how today is going, how the week's going, how the month's going, how the year's going. So having said that, the gym is a great place to pay attention to how we're taking care of ourselves. And it's also a great place to take and convert some form of energy, maybe negative energy, again, letting that hate flow through me and turning it into a nice set of 330 by 12. And after that set, I felt better. That was a hard set, not like the hardest thing I've ever done, But 330 by 12 was a good effort. Again, I said it would be like a 9 and 8. It shows that on the film. You can tell the last pull wasn't like, so it wasn't a grind. It was just, I was out of gas more than anything else. And it wasn't out of gas, I couldn't do anything. I was out of gas to the point where I just didn't care. Kind of like when I started that fourth set of sumo deads. I was just out of gas in terms of give a shit. I just didn't care anymore because I'd done enough. I had done sufficient work for today's session. So, just to reiterate one more time, gym is a great place to convert bad emotions into good results. And it's also a great place to observe how we've been taking care of ourselves. All right, so I hope everyone has a great weekend. I've got mundane stuff planned, but doesn't matter. It's still time I get to spend with friends and family. And I hope you guys have a great weekend. All right, I'll talk to you later. Peace. All right, so I'm starting this whole session off. Just going to do a quick beginning. Videotape the beginning. The safety keeps clanking as I'm talking. Anyhow, because I keep leaning on it. Putting on these shoes. Until they're really hard to put on. Just slide them on. They're pretty much like slippers. I do like these for deadlifts. These Merrell Vapor gloves. Good buy if you can find them. Got a long slot. Got long or high socks on today. Knee-high socks for sumo pulls. Kind of planning ahead. Listening to some Bill Chase. Probably can't hear it because he just likes to do a pretty good job of rejecting other noise. But all right, I'm gonna get some step ups done. Trying to organize my thoughts. Supposed to have a plumber come by the house today. That's why I'm home. He's doing some work from home, and he's not showed up yet. It's kind of not great, but I don't know. He'll be here sometime. For those keeping record at home, the execution today on these is quite easy. That was sloppy. Mostly getting my balance down. But again, these are going pretty well, especially for a first set. Biggest problem with my left foot, not only is it weaker, but I need to look at things more. Like if I step up with my right foot, it's automatic. But not with my left. It's like I need to look at things and I need to figure out where my foot goes and what's going on and blah, blah, blah. All right. These are 8-kilogram kettlebells. I'm gonna do a quick set here. Going pretty well. Sometimes that extra weight can actually help a little bit because it gives you something to balance with the width. All right, I'm going to cut the tape here because it's the same boring nonsense. I'm going to go up. But anyhow, I'll join you back for some deadlifts. All right, this is the first set of 5 at 330. I'm moving right through warm-ups. I did 150, 240, and 330. I'm using the advantage of being a little bit ticked off, a little bit aggravated, combined with the fact that it's kind of midday, and that's usually where I'm strongest. And I've got some unresolved business that I got to deal with. hasn't been a great Friday. So I'm going to use that edge, as it were, to kind of just get through things and knock this out and get done. All right, this is set 2. Again, try to move through these quickly, but still focus on what needs to be done. All right, here we go, set 3. All right, set 4, rock and roll. All right, set 5, we're going to run this out, see what we can get.